So Big 12 champ, so to speak. Tell me a little bit about the win.
I mean, they had a trophy for it last year, so sadly it didn't get shipped from Orlando up to Morgantown. But yeah, listen, they're a really strong side. Haven't perhaps had the results that they're worthy of. I know they have a couple of injuries and a couple of important pieces missing, so maybe we're fortunate in the timing of when we've played them. But yeah, very, very good side that we know are capable of having spells with the ball, and then obviously it makes a huge difference when they're coming off a week between games, and we obviously played away on Tuesday. You get back at 2 a.m. and there's some heavy legs, and we're a little bit light defensively in terms of cover right now as well. So we had to suffer a little bit to finish the game, but when I look and see one corner and one shot for them, very, very proud of the defensive effort, and obviously the result was huge.
Yeah, kind of on that point, late there in the game, Mark Bonaire and the back line really made some impact plays to make sure that UCF stayed off the board in the second half. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, we were fighting fatigue. I could tell. Got a little bit stretched and didn't keep the lines quite as compact as we would have liked to. But sometimes you have to suffer in this game, and I think, to be fair, the nature of how the season has developed, we had some really, really comfortable wins and very controlling wins at the start of the season, and almost got caught by surprise with Kentucky that it was an even game, and hey, guess what, there's other good teams in the country, not just us. So it was good that we adapted and were more accepting probably of the fact that yeah, they're a good team. They're going to have some of the ball, they're going to have some spells, and obviously with the energy impact of what we had done on Tuesday versus their recovery, we expected to have to absorb, especially the nature of the scoreline. So for, again, that back four, when you consider, Tristan's first 90 minutes was just Tuesday for the first time. Maxi's done it again for us, 90 minutes. Max Trethaway comes in against a really pacey winger and does an incredible job for 60 minutes for us tonight. And then Freddie's not long off his injury and obviously lasts 89.5 minutes for us too. So we get some time now. They get an opportunity to enjoy this and then to recover and obviously really focus up on a reinvigorated Georgia Southern next week.
Yeah, how big is having that 6-day layoff, for some of these legs here? Because I mean, Caldera was a little slow getting up at one point, and then some other guys were.
Yeah, they have the next 2 days off, and they've earned them. And then obviously we should feel like we have an opportunity to manage the squad, hopefully get a few other players up to speed as well, and then go and do it again. It's the nature of the grind. We have another 3-game stretch in 8 days, and that starts with 2 road games with Georgia Southern and then straight into Dayton following that. So they've earned the rest. We're off to a very, very good start through 10 games, and I'm really, really proud of a group that consists of a number of players that have now started unbeaten through 10 games 3 of the 4 years here in West Virginia, and that's a pretty mean feat.
Yeah, last thing for me, I mean, obviously you wanted to get the 3 points against Kentucky, but to have that adversity early on, how big is that going into the later half of that Sun Belt schedule?
It's really important. We actually, the nature of results last night gave us an opportunity to go at least level on points and join first today with a win. And I said to the group, I think in the 3 years that we've been competing in the Sun Belt, I'm not sure we've ever been sat atop of the league at any stage. We've always kind of been trying to make up for lost time. So obviously with JMU and Marshall tying yesterday, gave us an opportunity to go level on points. So yeah, hopefully we like being perched on the top and we can keep everyone behind us.
No. Coach, the second half substitution of Sam Yanka, I mean, he comes in the game, brings a whole new level of intensity, ends up assisting the goal from Caldera. I mean, what were your thoughts on how he played?
Yeah, almost worked perfectly with how we drew it up. We had talked about being a little bit more dynamic in some of our movements, and they had a really rigid structure of kind of like a 4-2-4, defensively quite narrow, and we were just too accepting of the fact that we were marked and we didn't move and we weren't dynamic. And we challenged Sergio to go deeper to see if Rosa would be drawn out and come further away, which would expose space behind. And Sam kind of had one role, which was when that happens, you expose the space that he leaves and run down the side. And for that to work the way it did, and for him to come in and have the impact that he did, again, speaks to the depth of the squad and then how brought in some of these guys that aren't always starting are to what we're trying to do. So really, really proud of his efforts in the second half, and definitely deserved the assist.
Yeah, I'll go. 17 out of 21 goals, I believe, so far have been scored by international players. Can you talk a little bit about the challenges and also the benefits of getting guys to come from overseas to play right here in Morgantown?
Fortunately, there aren't any challenges. Fortunately, this is a desirable location for a number of international athletes and domestic now. I think we're almost 70% domestic in this current roster. We're far more attractive and far more marketable to the best domestic talent, which, if I'm honest, we probably didn't have access to that 5 years ago. And now we feel like we're in a position where we can compete with the best of the rest, honestly, for the domestic players. But to be able to supplement that with some fantastic internationals, to see as many senior internationals as we have that are so invested in, and in love with West Virginia as a state, as a program, is fantastic. And I can speak to that myself, as can Andy. So we're very, very fortunate that we operate in a global market, and soccer is the most popular sport in the world, and there are thousands, literally thousands of kids who would love an opportunity to come here. So we feel very, very fortunate that we have kind of the pick of the litter right now.